Arcade's $60 million bet, why AI agent permissions are now infrastructure. Explain why a startup focused on AI agent permissions just raised a meaningful Series A, what that says about the next bottleneck in enterprise AI, and what operators should build before agents touch production systems. Arcade.dev just raised $60 million for a problem that sits one layer below the AI hype cycle. Not how smart an agent is. Not which model benchmark won this week. The problem is what happens when an agent gets real access to real systems. The Wall Street Journal says Arcade's product controls what an agent is authorized to access or modify inside enterprise apps, databases, and tools. That matters because AI is moving from assistants that suggest work to agents that can actually do work, and that changes the risk profile completely. The skeptical question is fair: startups raise money every day, so why care about this one? Because the lead investors and the problem category tell you where enterprise pain is forming. The journal reports a $60 million Series A led by Sin Ventures with participation from Morgan Stanley and Wipro, after a $12 million seed round. That is not a consumer AI novelty story. It is a governance and enterprise control story. Strategic investors do not show up here because prompt engineering is exciting. They show up because companies want agents to act, but they do not want those agents inheriting unsafe authority. This is the core mechanism. A model can reason about a task, but the dangerous part is the action layer. Reading a customer record, changing a billing field, sending an email, approving a refund, deleting a file, rotating a credential, or triggering a workflow. The journal reports that Arcade separated the reasoning layer from the action layer and then built technology to manage which tools the model is authorized to use. In plain English, the model can think broadly, but the execution layer has to stay narrow, explicit, and auditable. That is how you stop a helpful agent from turning into an expensive mistake. The timing also matters because agent connectivity is standardizing. The source set says Arcade builds MCP servers and supports A2A style interoperability. That means the AI world is getting better at wiring models to tools and agents to other agents. But standard connections make permissions more important, not less. If every system becomes easier to plug into an agent, then authorization, policy enforcement, and audit logs become the layer that decides whether the architecture is usable in production. The skeptical analyst asks, does standardization reduce lock-in? Yes. But it also raises the value of whoever can control execution safely across all those connections. There are limits here. The public source set does not give valuation, revenue, or customer count detail. So you should not treat this as proof that one startup already owns the category. It is still an early stage signal. There will be competition from cloud platforms, identity vendors, workflow tools, and model companies themselves. But early stage does not mean unimportant. It means the market is still deciding whether agent governance becomes a feature or a standalone layer. The funding round says enough buyers already think the problem is real. What changes Monday morning is the deployment checklist. Before your team adds another agent, map every system it touches and classify each action into read, draft, recommend, approve, or execute. Keep the default mode narrow. Give agents read access before write access, draft rights before send rights, and recommendation rights before approval rights. Then add logs that distinguish human intent from agent action. If you cannot answer who authorized the action, what system it touched, and how you would roll it back, the agent is not ready for production. Not included. My judgment is that this funding round is a real infrastructure signal. The next phase of enterprise AI is not only about making agents more capable. It is about making them governable. When companies start paying for permission boundaries, audit logs, and execution controls, the stack is maturing. If you had to harden one part of an AI agent stack first, would you start with prompts, tools, or permissions? Create a polished classic explainer with a calm lead narrator and short skeptical analyst handoff moments. Use source cards, access policy boards, app connection maps, approval gate visuals, audit log timelines, and enterprise workflow diagrams. Keep visuals changing every 3 to 5 seconds. Make the reasoning versus action distinction visually obvious. Avoid fake breach footage, fake employee panic scenes, or fake investor TV clips. Keep the tone practical, source-backed, and operator-focused. 1 June 15, 2026, WSJ report date. $260 million, series of funding. $312 million, prior seed funding. 440 employees, company size reported by WSJ. 549 of 60, total topic score. 6.8 of 10, proof of demand score. 7.9 of 10, business relevance score. 8.10 of 10, freshness score. 9.8 of 10, visual explainability score. 10.8 of 10, title clarity score. 11.6 of 10, saturation risk score. 12.3 layers, read, approve, execute control framing. 13.2 protocols named in the story, MCP and A2A. 14.1 core bottleneck, authorization. 15.0 valuation disclosed in the reviewed source set. 1 one-page summary 2. Links mentioned 3. Key terms explained 4. Practical examples 5. Watch list and risks educational content only. Not financial advice. Hashtag AI agents, hashtag enterprise AI, hashtag MCP, hashtag A2A, hashtag AI news.